before. Okay, my dears. So we're going to start. Actually, we're going to start with something I've been wanting to do, and I'm going to start doing it regularly, which is a land acknowledgement. And this is something that more and more people are remembering and wanting to do, which is to acknowledge the original dwellers of the land that we are all on right now. And we're all on different land. You're not all with me here. But that we want to acknowledge that the Native peoples, the indigenous peoples of the United States, were here for, as we know, thousands of years, tending the land with fire and with care and with very wise practices that the wise farmers now are learning from and are reenacting so that we can have a chance of saving this planet. So I want to honor the Ohlone people of the East Bay, where I live, and the Miwok people of the Western Marin area, which is where I am tonight in Point Reyes Station. So my backdrop's a little different. You can tell I'm not at home. So with gratitude and with a commitment to showing up to help repair and make restitution to the people whose lands were stolen and the Black people whose lives were stolen, work was stolen. So all of that we just lift up so that we stand in a space of responsibility and care as we enjoy the blessings of this time together. Let's sing our traditional opening song. I'll put it up on the screen just for a little bit because not everybody's had a chance to. Oh, phooey. Oh, here it is. Yeah, got it. Lay It Down. This is a little end of day song I wrote just for this event. So sing the first two verses a couple of times and then the ending. Evening falls, the day is ending. All my work, I lay it down. Let it rest until tomorrow. Day is done. Lay it down. Let's sing that again for those that don't know it. Evening falls. Evening falls, the day is ending. All my work, I lay it down. Let it rest until tomorrow. Day is done. Lay it down. Lay it down. Your every burden, evening shadows gather round. Come sweet dark and gentle darkness, day is done. Lay down. Evening falls. Evening falls, the day is ending. All my work, I lay it down. Let it rest until tomorrow. Day is done. Lay it down. Lay it down. Your every burden, evening shadows gather round. Come sweet night and gentle darkness, day is done. Lay it down. Ending. Come sweet night and gentle darkness, day is done. Lay it down. Let it rest. Lay it down. Pretty soon we won't need the words for that anymore. If you have a candle tonight and you haven't lit it yet, why don't you go ahead and light it? Got this little candle here. And as always, I have a candle on my table behind me that is both for me and for all of you and anyone who doesn't have a candle tonight. Put it where you can see it. And let's just take a few minutes to enjoy just the simple, simple gift of being in this body, in this group, in this moment. So if you want to look at your candle, or if you want to close your eyes, but settle in some position that feels both comfortable but a little, I guess, alert, a little awake in a nice way, just poised, ready to give, ready to receive. And just come into that breath in your body. Feeling the breath, feeling different parts of you, opening to the breath. Feeling how just when we're conscious of breathing, that something happens and muscles we didn't know were tight begin to loosen a little bit. Maybe the chest opens a bit. Just by paying attention to this ordinary, beautiful, life-giving breath. Letting your face soften, letting your hands relax, let go. Letting your belly relax and open. Feel what it could be like to breathe without effort, to live for this moment without effort. And for this time together, let's just lay it down, let it go. The personal troubles or joys of the day, the national and global events, victories, defeats. Buddha talks about the 8 worldly winds that buffet us about. Praise and blame, success and failure, all those opposites, those paradoxes that we all live in. For this moment, just sit steady as the worldly winds blow here and there. Maybe just think of one joy that you've felt or had today or in the last 24 hours. Just bring to mind a simple joy, simple moment of pleasure. Could have been as simple as just you stepping outside and taking a breath and noticing something. Just being alive. Oh, so having arrived a little more fully, let's sing this to each other to begin with. From this circle of love, very simple chant. From this circle of love, I send you peace. From this circle of love, from this circle of love, circle of love, I send you peace. There's so much harmony there. I'll do one. You hang out on the melody and I'll do a little harmony. From this circle of love, from this circle of love, from this circle of love, I send you peace. Why don't you try that and I'll do the melody. From this circle of love, from this circle of love, from this circle of love, I send you peace. Now just go wild in the privacy of your own home. Make up a harmony. Pete Seeger, you know what he says. Harmony is any note your neighbor's not singing. And since you can't hear your neighbor, you can do any note you want. From this circle of love, 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 love, I send you peace. Yeah, let's let go. This circle of love, circle of love, from this circle of love, from this circle of love, I send you peace. From this circle of love, oh, from this circle of love, love, from this circle of love, love, I send you peace. From this circle of love, from this circle of love, from this circle of love, love, I send you peace. Nice. We are learning amazing new skills, aren't we? How to harmonize with nobody, how to sing way outside the box and not feel ashamed or scared, and believing the most thing of all, faith. I have faith that you are all singing. I mean, you could be reciting the alphabet and I wouldn't know it, but I totally have faith that you are singing. So that's good. It's good to cultivate that faith. I have some great poems tonight. I've had so much fun. I've got a new book, Poetry of Presence. Poetry of Presence. And it's an anthology of mindfulness poems. So it's full of good stuff. And this one is maybe one of my big favorites. Now, the theme of the night tonight is wisdom across the generations. And it started because of a different poem I'm going to read a little later about a child that was like the child wisdom out of the mouths of babes, you know. And then I read something by Lao Tzu, who was back 500 BC. So I thought, all right, let's bring it all together, the kids and the ancients. But what I discovered this week about wisdom, as I looked at quotes and poems and songs, is how much of wisdom teachings are actually paradoxes. It's almost like the trickster is the true Zen master, you know. And I'll share some of those with you. But this one is sort of a paradox. It's also just a little play on the whole idea of seeking just the right wisdom that will, you know, make us just the right person. It's called Smart Cookie by Richard Schiffman. The fortune that you seek is in another cookie, or it was my fortune. So I'll be equally frank. The wisdom that you covet is in another poem. The life that you desire is in a different universe. The cookie you are craving is in another jar. The jar is buried somewhere in Tennessee. Don't even think of searching for it. If you found that jar, everything would go kerflooey for 1,000 miles around. It is the jar of your fate in an alternate reality. Don't even think of living that life. Don't even think of eating that cookie. Be a smart cookie. Eat what's on your plate, not in some jar in Tennessee. That's my wisdom for today, though I know it's not what you were looking for. I love that. Have you ever gone to a Chinese restaurant and had gotten a fortune, and your partner, your friend got another one, and you both felt like you'd gotten each other's fortunes and you trade them? I don't want my fortune, I want yours. So this is a wonderful song, or a wonderful quote from the great, I can never, pardon me, I'm going to say his name wrong, and just forgive me. Nisargadatta Maharaj. Nisargadatta Maharaj, who wrote a very well-known book, I Am That. He lived during the last century. And a quote of his I've always loved is, wisdom tells me I am nothing. Love tells me I am everything. And between those two, my life dances. So let's sing it. It was like this. Wisdom tells me I am nothing. Love tells me I am everything. So between the two, my life flows. Now you may think, I'm not going to remember all that. But the cool part is the flow part is completely improvised. I don't even know what I'm going to sing on flow because I don't. I just wrote this yesterday. And also because that is kind of the flow, is I don't know. I thought I was going here, I'm going there. I thought it was this fortune, it's that fortune. So on flow, again, you get to just take off and flow. Just run with it, okay? And the rest of it, yeah, just jump on, get it however you get it. Here we go. Wisdom tells me I am nothing. Love tells me I am everything. Wisdom tells me I am nothing. Love tells me I am everything. So between the two, my life flows. And it'll be different next time, I promise you. The first two lines are pretty reliable. Let's stick with, you kind of get grounded in those, and then like, all right, here we go. Wisdom tells me I am nothing. Love tells me I am everything. So between the two, my life flows. With gusto. Wisdom tells me I'm nothing. Love tells me I am everything. So between the two, my life flows. Wisdom tells me I am nothing. Love tells me I am everything. And between the two, my life flows. You did it. I see things coming in the chat. I'm very glad that people are naming the land. I was going to invite you to do that, and I forgot. If you know who the original indigenous folks of your land were and are, because of course they're still there in some numbers. Just put it in the chat if you happen to know. It would be good to know. All right. So just a couple of examples of paradoxes. I was looking through some quotes from two people that I have been very impacted by and inspired by and lessoned, taught by, educated by Maya Angelou and James Baldwin. And both of them, I found some wonderful quotes that just contain the wisdom and the paradox. Maya Angelou says, seek patience and passion in equal amounts. Patience alone will not build the temple. Passion alone will destroy its walls. Patience alone will not build the temple. Passion alone will destroy its walls. And James Baldwin says, American history is longer, larger, more various, more beautiful, and more terrible than anything anyone has ever said about it. More beautiful, more various, more terrible than anything anyone has ever said about it. Speaking of America, I have got to read you this wonderful thing. Lao Tzu is going to appear a couple of times tonight. This is from the Tao Te Ching, verse 80. I've had this on my wall for so long. It's so moving, and now more than ever. So see how this affects you. I think this is very, very moving. So this was written, what are we, 2,500 or more years ago? Someone I believe is unmuted, Liz. Not sure, possibly.
Cynthia.
Okay, Cynthia, can you?
I got locked out. I can't get back in, and I don't know. I can't get back in.
Cynthia, you're in. You're in. You're fine. You are in. You're right here. Beautiful. Okay, welcome back. Okay, Lao Tzu. Oh, this is almost painful to read, my friends. I just want to say, but it's good. It's really good because we need our visions fed of what could be, what we know is right. And this is a vision of what is right for a country. If a country is governed wisely, its inhabitants will be content. They enjoy the labor of their hands and don't waste time inventing labor-saving machines. Since they dearly love their homes, they aren't interested in travel. There may be a few wagons and boats, but these don't go anywhere. There may be an arsenal of weapons, but nobody ever uses them. People enjoy their food, take pleasure in being with their families, spend weekends working in their gardens, delight in the doings of the neighborhood. And even though the next country is so close that people can hear its roosters crowing and its dogs barking, they are content to die of old age without ever having gone to see it. People enjoy their food, take pleasure in being with their families, spend weekends working in their gardens, delight in the doings of the neighborhood. Okay. Now, I actually have a lot of readings tonight. It's interesting. I just kept finding really great stuff. This is the poem that inspired the theme tonight. And it is short. It's a short poem by Thadi Judah. My daughter wouldn't hurt a spider that had nested between her bicycle handles for 2 weeks. She waited until it left of her own accord. If you tear down the web, I said, it will simply know that this isn't a place to call home, and then you'd get to go biking. She said, that's how others become refugees, isn't it? I'll read it again. My daughter wouldn't hurt a spider that had nested between her bicycle handles for 2 weeks. She waited until it left of her own accord. If you tear down the web, I said, it will simply know this isn't a place to call home, and you'd get to go biking. She said, that's how others become refugees, isn't it? Boy, I just, mm. It's funny. It's sort of like that previous Lao Tzu reading that if we just leave the web of life intact and don't, kind of keep moving things about and I don't know, trying to get our preferences, trying to get the cookie that's in the jar somewhere else, just that sense of contentment, just letting everything rest as it is. So I wrote a little song, as I do every week. It's sort of become a tradition that I write a new song every week to fill out the theme. And I think you'll enjoy this one. It's really simple. Oh, I'm going to put it up for you though, because it is kind of a little bit more of a wordy song. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. There we go. I want to see with a child's eyes. So just kind of listen. We'll just do it piece by piece. I'll do the first verse, then we'll all sing it together. Second verse has the same music as the first. And hold on. And then I'll teach you the rest of it. I want to see with a child's eyes. I want to love with a child's heart. I want to live with a child's hope all of my life. Try it with me. I want to see with a child's eyes. I want to love with a child's heart. I want to live with a child's hope all of my life. I want to know what the child knows. I want to go where the child goes. I want to trust where the river flows all of my life. Okay, now just listen for a minute. Wisdom falls like a leaf from a tree. Wisdom calls from the child in me. Sing that with me. Wisdom falls like a leaf from a tree. Wisdom comes from the child in me. Listen, so let me see, let me hope, let me love, let me know, let me go hand in hand with the child in me. Everybody, let me see, let me hope, let me love,
Let me know, let me go hand in hand
with the child in me. Let's do the whole thing now. Just you know what, wing it. I want to see with the child's eyes. I want to love with the child's heart. I want to live with the child's hope all of my life. I want to know what the child knows. I want to go where the child goes. I want to trust where the river flows all of my life. Wisdom falls like a leaf from a tree. Wisdom calls from the child in me. So let me see, let me hope, let me love, let me know, let me go hand in hand with the child in me. Let me see, let me hope, let me love, let me know, let me go hand in hand with the child in me. Yeah. Woo! All right. Oh, this is so healing. I love this. All right, everybody. I got to open up to gallery now. I've been looking at myself for way too long. I love seeing who's here. Hi, Kathy DeForest. I can't say hi to everybody, but every now and then an old friend kind of jumps out, and it means so much to me that you're all here. It just really does. Week after week. I think in September I may change the rhythm a little bit of this. I might cut down to 2 nights a month, or I might wait till October. Tony, you made it. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Tony's been
Hi,
waiting.
Tony.
Tony's been waiting for months to come to this. And yeah, the doula, it looks like the San Francisco General Hospital is going to open up to doulas being able to serve there again, and I'm part of their volunteer doula program. So I may be going back to that, which is a big step. It's been months since I've done that hospital work, but I sure want to. So I do have a few more little things for you, and one of them is there's this amazing guy. He's a minister and he's a poet and he's a mystic. And he seems to be really good at the poetry part and the mystic part. I don't know if he's a good minister, but his poetry is really awesome. And I get it every day. He does he sends out a thing a day. His name is Pastor Stephen Garnas Holmes. And if you're interested, I'll try to put it in the chat how you can find him. But this one, speaking of children, okay, so do you all know the story of the Emperor's New Clothes, right? Famous. Oh, one of the great, great stories, wisdom stories of all time, of the arrogant, king who has his tailors make him the most glorious, beautiful outfit. But somehow, I forget even how the story goes, but he ends up having nothing on. They kind of fool him. They kind of trick him, maybe. Somebody remembers it better than I. And he ends up going striding down the street in a royal procession with all his finery, except that he's actually stark naked. But though everybody participates in the delusion, listen to this, everybody participates in the delusion. The entire country stands and bows to the king and cheers and says, "What beautiful clothing," right? Oh my goodness. This is the ancient wisdom coming back to say hello. Hello there. Are we dealing with any delusion these days? So Stephen writes this amazing poem. Dear Emperor, over-feathered bird, primping, preening, posing, you have not distracted us enough. Pointing a frenzied finger at imagined monsters, you have failed to frighten us. Demeaning the people, denouncing their voices, parodying the cry of the poor and the caution of the wise, you have peddled despair, but alas, we are still here, healing. You have not separated us from God. You have not relieved us of the burden of our passion for justice. You have not cured us of our hope. Even now, amazing, we are singing. Even now, amazing, we are singing. I want to see with a child's eyes. Okay. Oh my goodness. So, I'm just looking at the time. We haven't yet really done a lullaby, and as long as lullaby is in the title, we definitely have to sing a lullaby. So we are going to close with a lullaby. I have 2 short readings for you. One from a modern elder wisdom teacher who died very recently, and one again from Lao Tzu. And both of them are about seeing with the eyes of love. And when I read, and to me, as I read the Ram Dass one, and you'll hear it in a moment, it's interesting. It makes me realize how much I have grown up in an age of therapy, self-help, spiritual smorgasbord, self-esteem language, 12-step recovery. I mean, many of us awash in the language of self-affirmation, and that we're good and whole just because we are here. And I'm not, and it can almost go by a little like, yeah. I've heard this a million times in a million workshops. But as I was reading Ram Dass, and then when I read Lao Tzu, who 2,500 years ago was saying the same thing in a different way, I think about someone who has not heard this. And I know that there are people growing up in this world, in this country, who do not hear this core message of you are a blessing just by being here. And that there is love permeating the universe that embraces you, that is the web that holds us. So I read this for all of those and any of you who were that child and needed this. And then we're going to sing a song that every child should be sung to sleep with. So Ram Dass says, you are loved just for being who you are, just for existing. You don't have to do anything to earn it. Your shortcomings, your lack of self-esteem, physical perfection or economic success, none of that matters. No one can take this love away from you, and it will always be here. And just as we just celebrated seeing the world through a child's eyes, the wisdom of the child's eyes, this is sort of the circle of giving, the generational circle, where what we need to give to children is that essential love, that essential message of your eyes are not broken. What you see is true. It is real to me. For those of you who were here last week, it's real to me, the child says. Lao Tzu says, and this is so beautiful, it's very short, so don't miss it. He says, being deeply loved by someone gives you strength. Loving someone deeply gives you courage. Being deeply loved by someone gives you strength, while loving someone deeply gives you courage. So, I'm going to sing a song I think many of you know. It was written by Libby Roderick, a wonderful songwriter and spiritual being from Alaska. And I believe I'm correct in saying that she wrote it for her sister during her sister having a very tough time. It might have been her sister was coming out as a lesbian in a time when there was not a lot of friendly welcome for that. I don't want to swear that that's true, but I believe that's the story. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? I used to sing this to my son to help him go to sleep, and I just can't think of better words. So if this is your lullaby tonight, and this is for you, this is for all of us to take to bed with us. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. There you go. How could anyone ever tell you you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you there were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. One more. How could anyone ever tell you, try some harmony, you were anything less than beautiful? How could anyone ever tell you you were less than whole? How could anyone fail to notice that your loving is a miracle? How deeply you're connected to my soul. to my soul. I love these Twilight Vespery lullaby things very much. They're really, really special. We're going to have a few more words and some closing blessings from you all. I love bringing your voices in. Wish we could do more of that. Um, so next week is still a surprise. I'm cooking on a couple of different burners and it'll be something neat, but I'm not going to be able to tell you until I send out the next invitation. But 6 o'clock, same time, and you'll find out more very soon. I really appreciate your donations. It's having quite an impact in a couple of different countries. I've talked about Kenya pretty regularly and the women there, but I haven't talked about Nepal and the village where a street singer that I connected with when I was in Nepal in 2016. I was standing on a busy corner and in the kind of Tamal district, which is a kind of where all the hiking shops are. It's where a lot of the hikers go to gear up for their treks, and I was going to go trekking also. And a street musician just came and stood in front of me and started playing this funny little instrument that I'd never seen before and singing this very iconic Nepalese song that I heard everywhere. And I was so enchanted. I was so happy. And I started singing and I started dancing and clapping. And I'll show you a video of it sometime. But anyway, his village had been devastated during the earthquake. It was, several hundred miles, many hundred miles from Kathmandu, and wiped out. So he brought his whole family to Kathmandu in hopes of making some money as a street singer. And during good times, and these were not horrible times, tourists were starting to come back, he was doing okay. But now under COVID, nobody's okay. Nobody is okay in Nepal, very few people. So his village as a whole is hungry. He can't go village to sing like he used to because of the COVID. And the food has run out, really. So I've been sending money to him and his village as well. And that is because of you all. That is because of you all. I'm not someone who can do this on my own. So please, as you can, feel free to donate. You've gotten the donate button with everything I send you. I'm not shy about putting the donate button in. So I would like to just now open the floor for 2 or 3 people to just share a word or two of what you've experienced tonight, how this journey where it's left you, where are you now, and or a blessing to the community. And you can do that.
The blessing that I would like to offer is origami, a lotus, a crane, a butterfly, a heart. And I'm working on an anger ritual, and this was very fruitful. Thank you.
Wonderful. Sylvia, could you hold those up a little bit higher? Because they're so beautiful and we could only see them a little bit higher up on your screen.
Can you see it here?
Yeah. Yep.
And this one. And
beautiful.
And the heart.
Oh, Sylvia, thank you so much. That was wonderful. Thank you very much, Sylvia. Glad you're back. Adele, what have you got to say? Good to see you again.
Just grateful for you and this gathering, and that a dear friend of mine is on, and just feeling so warmed and less afraid.
I love that. So warmed and less afraid. Yeah. Thank you, Adele. Amy, welcome. Amy Saltzman, please unmute. Okay, I'll come back to Amy. Linda Palmstrom.
Hey, it was just so peaceful and so serene. Beautiful ending to my day. And I found a friend on here, Judith Black. We haven't seen each other in years and years and years. So thank you. That was so fun.
Judith Black was here. She's an old friend of mine. Judith, I can't believe you're here. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ooh, red letter night. Oh, this is amazing. Thank you. Oh,
Anyway, thank you. Bye bye.
able to, Amy.
Thanks. I have spotty internet connection, but I wanted to say that I was
Oh dear, your internet's.
hang on, it's back. Why I didn't have my video on is because I was making a labyrinth
Oh,
and your music's in the labyrinth.
Amy. Oh boy. Well, we got origami, we've got labyrinth, we've got sisters and old friends. We're so blessed. So carry all of it with you, carry the blessings, carry it home, and we'll meet again soon. Okay?